Sure bafethu, this is your boy Sabo Mahale, niyazi bafethu rock and roll music wamangala. Sesikhona ngicela ukunibulisa lapha emakhaya, just wanna say bafethu good morning ngiyabanda sicede ukufika lana. Phethe big man bambiza ngomuka bafethu. So today niyazi ngiphethele amahayini amadoda. Always kumele sithole abantu abazofaka iphepha ekhaya. So vandaag nami ngi-excited, I have this guy umuka bafethu ngiceda ukumlanda. So bafethu asitholeni ukuthi umuka ubani wenzani empilweni. For my excitement, I want to hear more. But vandaag ngicela ukuba introduce kucala before siya phambili. Mr. Mo,
Yes,
mina
sir.
ngijabule ukukubona mfethu. Ngicela nje utshela abantu bami who are you, ubloma pha ubani mandla.
Hola, hola. Sam, thank you for having me on, Mfana. Really appreciate it. Hola, hola to everyone watching there. Igama umonwabisi wakwaDlamini, but like us, bangibiza Coach Mo. Born and bred la eJabavu, specifically centrally, and yeah, everything that is around me, most of it happens around la eJabavu. Founder of Soweto Basketball Academy, and yeah, that's why.
Okay, Godman. Yeah, Godman. Yazi khona abantu abanemibuzo. There's a lot of things. There's people that don't know you, but there's people that know you.
Yeah.
So, Godman, mfethu ngifuna ukwazi something about you. So, there's this basketball court yaseKasi. I know it kusase khona i-tournament beyidlala la e-swimming grounds la ngase-White.
Yeah.
So, I know leya court isase Madlakadla. So,
Yeah.
into ngifuna ukuyicaba Godman. Ngicela ungitshele before siyafera ukuthi kuze kanjani ube naleyo nto leyo for leya code ufuna ukuyilungisa and see yourself having the academy onayo vandaag.
Yeah, well, firstly, like I said, sikhulela like us. Thina besidlala vele one palo kuleya court. And people abayicabile but I had zero experience in basketball, like zero. Because Tina Sakula, there was no one running basketball kuleya court.
Yeah.
Or anyway, like us, so kwenzakala ukuthi there was a time where we were pushing a few projects and I was like, you know what, ama-facility like us are underutilized, no one is using them, and you find that khona kulela facility bekubhenyiwa, you know, sidlala, but it was unsafe, and we just decided ukuthi yazini, we need to do something. And to be honest, the idea was not basketball. The idea was, what do we do to make sure good land is safe, clean, and we can utilize it. Yeah, and I can say basketball just fell onto our laps because it is a basketball court, and a lot of the kids from Ikaslet were using that just to go and play. And me personally, I was like, I come from a heavy background here, sports. Like I said, disc, rugby, cricket at the highest level. And for me, it was like, yo, just got introduced to this new sport, gimme, and it just grabbed me. So from there, we learned how to coach, how to play, and all that. Yeah.
But mina ngiyabuza Godman, ukhulume ngokuthi i-basketball court i-basket
At all.
bekungasiza izinto zakho.
Lalela.
Awukazi uyidlale la yini?
Ever.
So
Believe it or
Godman
not.
mfethu ungitshela ukuthi wena you don't know this thing.
No.
It just fell to you.
Yeah. Kusho ukuthi yona ikhethe mina.
Ngisho ukuthi ubusy. Ayikholini kahle.
Kahle kahle.
Okay, Godman ngiyakuzwa. But then now I just want to know kuze kanjani? Tell me about from, as you saying ukuthi you know it was unsafe and ubone opportunity ukuthi ushintshe. As much as nami I think khona ama-ground ufeel ukuthi kumele ashintshwe.
Yeah.
So laphayana ngicela ungitshele how did it come about whereby you find yourself manje sewe-academy enkulu, you get people coming in. Just tell me how you started, unabo bani.
Sure.
Ungitshele ama-struggles, ungitshele ukuthi kuze kanjani ube lapho ukhona before siya phezulu.
Sure.
Ngicela ungizele nakho.
So I think the first thing to note is that it was never a one-man show. A lot of people, yes, njengamanje, we see there is an ANC, there's a leader. It's not ANC, it's not an EFF, there's people behind. However, there's a leader, which is myself. So I think it's important to stress that. Fun now, everyone sees you as the host, but there's a whole team behind you. So it's important to note that, because a lot of people, they like batanda ubega, let's say, glory on one particular individual, and floppy color. But then moving on and answering your question, so you'll hear me referring to all the time. So yeah, it was a collective of amajita who were around me, amajita engikhule nawo, who share the same passions as myself. And for us it was so ukuqala academy, like I'm saying, for us it was firstly to clean up the sport. And thereafter we saw a need, and immediately when I fell in love with the sport, and I come from a heavy background in sports. So when I got there, for me, basketball, I think the one thing that hit me was that I felt that, and I knew that it was too late for me to compete. So imagine uqala disc so na, let's say 20. It's too late. Now, na 16, it's still late, to be honest. Because now you're competing against Intwana, Ekale in a 6. So there's no catching up. And for me, thinking, you know, when Mokula, I am basketball. And you're like, there's no way to play basketball. So for me, it was like, I'm late, or I can help the next kid opumeka slam. Angakhali ukuthi yena bekalate. So hence the conscious decision, you know, which hasn't saying coach, you know. And once again, I had no idea ukuthi ngizifaka kwini, but mina, because of the kind of person I am, into mangithi ngiyayenza lalela isukile. So that was the mission yabayilo ukuthi as we're going to start an academy. We are going to expose as many of our young kids as are like us to what it feels to play a sport at the highest level as a junior. And hence we that's how we started it.
So going back to kids, ne?
Yeah.
And the type of person that you are, money, cover. So you didn't get that opportunity to do it, but you saw the opportunity to make them done.
For sure.
So I see it's getting bigger and bigger. It's already so it's wrong. And for me, we need people like you. Man, sometimes I think we have people that can do that, but it only takes time.
Yeah, for sure.
Patience, it's not easy.
For sure.
Hence, you're helping other kids. Some of the families manje better because of umntwana active. And create spaces safe environment babhizi abantwana. So hotman ngifuna ukuthi ungitshele since labantwana bada you got to the stage lesebakuzo nekhode engakhona, it's colorful, attractive, akekho umzali ongafuna ukuletha umntwana banempahla bagcoka kahle. So hotman ngifuna ukucaba ukuthi labantwana laba since bada ubaphethe grand and what not ne ikhode yona njengoba bayi-renovate abayenzani, ngifuna ungitshela ukuthi labo bantu babuyaphi, iqale kanjani? How did you get to a point whereby you find people that fit lezo zinto? How did you find sponsors? Fike kanjani ama-challenges ukuthi ufike la uzithole ngekhode e-colorful kanje? So ngicela ungizele nayo nalapho khona manje ukuthi kuyenzakaleni.
Okay, so I think there's this misconception ukuthi abantu they assume that into ezifana nabo sponsorship nokuxhaswa at a level where maybe you're running a program, whether it's a music program or a sports program, people assume ukuthi there's some kind of shortcut. Kwamele wazi abantu. Yazini shortcut? Persistence. Yabona this podcast where it is right now. If you are persistent, you are not going to be where it is right now in the next 2 years. It's impossible. There's going to be growth. Whether it's 10 more subscribers or 10,000 more subscribers, it's persistence. So abantu bashawa ukuthi yabona khona umuntu oyibhekele manje, khona umuntu who's never going to get a chance to see this episode, but one day you're going to have someone even bigger than me that is going to bring more viewers to a podcast app, and they'll only discover it at that point. Oh shit, gune podcast and people don't understand. For you to get to that level, you need to start here and grow. So how we got our partners and sponsors is through that. People see into trials. Abantu abaningi bathi sine club or run team or whatever, but then bayirana ngoDecember kuphela makunama tournament. They are not persistent. Same thing in a podcast. If you're not going to be posting every week or whatever the schedule is, you're gonna find yourself ungafiki la ufuna ukufika khona. And that's literally the only shortcut is the patience, the persistence. ayikho enye yabo. So how we got to where we are, it really was a process of us continuing. I mean, i-court yethu njengoba icava behlangahlangene, it was not what it is today, and it was because with what we had, another example, because I mean I like trying to relate to where you are. I'm a podcast around, they've got like 6 cameras, right? Yours is starting with just one, and it does not mean ngoba uni camera one you can't do this. Same thing that we started with nothing, but because of the consistency, kancane 2, sekuba 3, and eventually someone else sees it and like, I think I want to associate my brand with this, because the writing there, the way I'm seeing progress, and that's really it. There's no other shortcut, there's no other fanamanga one side.
Mr. Mo,
Consistency.
energy. There's Mr. Mo, you're giving me this energy, like you're giving me this light, you're educating now. And for umuntu obukele, now young indicator adrenaline because of now people by understand, they get to understand the way you explain it, it's very pure. It's a way of life. I think yonke into empilweni Hotman ifuna ukuthi vele silandele the way, sibe persistent, have that patience and have that vision. So masongitshela kanje, I can see where it's coming from and I can believe now which it's going further. So Hotman ngicela ukuthi utshele abantu nokuthi okay, this thing, what's your vision now? Where do you want to see yourself ngale the thing, the academy? Ufuna ukuthi kuyenzakaleni? What's the next move? What's happening now?
I think when you're talking vision, I think if I'm being as honest as I can be and humble too, you know, vision in the first, like for example, once again, an example in your podcast, you start a platform and you want to reach, let's say, 10K followers and an X amount of views per month. That is your vision. And once you get closer to that, you're like, this is possible. But now there's another thing that's possible, young Todd. So I remember there was a time when we started this back in 2013. Everything was all the vision. So having partners, having kids, traveling the world through the sports, doing so many things. These were all our visions. And where we are right now, I can safely say that the visions we had when we started, we've accomplished. So now the vision going forward, or rather, one of the biggest visions we had was just to be the best in the country at what we do. And I can humbly say we are there. But now the next version is to be the best in the continent. That's going to take maybe a stretcher or a longer, more period than what it took for us to be the best in the country. But we now know the process of getting there. And once again, the biggest thing for that is just patience and persistency. And that's what we're going to continue doing. But I can say, just to answer your question, our main vision right now is just to be the best in the continent at what we do.
So Hotman, ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi angazi, I don't know anything about basketball. I'm interested because of my and as much as nami I'm into sports, I can see anything is possible. So ngifuna ukucaba ukuthi do you have like kids or ama-senior wakho playing somewhere kude, or the league enidlalayo, is it the bigger leagues? Kuyenzakalani? What's happening lapho? Ngicela nje
Yeah. So firstly, our academy is stretched from under 10 all the way to opens. So it's 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and opens. And this is both boys and girls, which is something that we pride ourselves in, because I think you find that a lot of teams, they don't really they don't focus more on girls, even Nange Disc. And there's multiple reasons why, but for me now, there's just no reason why a child in Tombazana should be then denied the opportunity to play sports, especially a sports that's different from netball, because typically in netball as a girl and soccer as a boy. And with basketball, I think, like us, it's one of the only sports that really cater for both genders equally. So where we are right now, I think it's just a matter of us improving from that and making sure that we get to a level where we can say, you know what, our girls and boys are at that level. So right now we play different leagues. Firstly, the Liga Sijala, there's a league called the Eagles League, which is the biggest in the country. And our under 16s and 18s as of this year are defending champions, both boys and girls. And people who, I mean, in the basketball community, everyone knows that if you want a competitive game, league, tournament, you know who to invite, and we are that team. It does come with a lot of pressure, but this is what we teach our kids. At first, you're fighting to be the best, and then the next thing you're fighting for is to remain on top, and that's what we're fighting for. So we don't just play that league. We play. There's no tournament that is hosted in South Africa, and respectfully so, that is relevant. The Esnailan, and there's no tournament or league we haven't won throughout. And I'm saying this humbly. A lot of the times we don't pat ourselves in the back and say we've done this, out of the fear yokuthi omunye umuntu uzothi uyazitshela or in. But you know what? I always tell our kids that if you're not going to tell yourself, so sometimes it's important for you to note that no, because it's facts. It's not like we are daydream. It's things we've achieved, and it's things that we want to continue to achieving. Because with our organization, we refer to it as a championship robust organization. We want to teach our kids that if you are competing in anything, you want to win. So if you want to run this podcast to be just in a podcast, I feel like you're in the wrong business. The idea should be, I want this to be the best someday, and that's what's going to keep you awake. That's what's going to keep you fighting to get the best best equipment, best guests onto your podcast. Because now if your vision is to be the best, it's not possible that you relax. No, I'm going to post last month. If you shift my vision, so if our kids understand that for me to be the best at this sport, I need to do X, Y, and Z. I need to work hard. I need to train hard. I need to sleep. I need all those things. Then okay, if I want to achieve certain things in billion, I need to apply the same mentality.
It means Scotland in guide abantwana in the right way, because I think sports is life. So Hotman, tell me about ukugcokisa abantwana abangani. How many are they? Like baningi abantwana. And now where I walk, wherever I go, ngiyabona Soweto. And for a fact, abantu bakhuluma asking with you, how did this guy get his sponsor Puma? Puma say big, no? And it's rare to say gas is a sponsor Puma. We don't believe that it's possible that Puma is a gas. But it happened the gas late. So surely abantu bafuna ukucava Hotman ukuthi how did the sponsor come? How many kids do we have? Because we can see now they're all over. As ushilo ukuthi from kuma under 10. So ungangizela ngendaba ye-sponsor and tell me ukuthi kuze kanjani. And then from there, take me to kids, how do you handle ama under 10 girls and boys ukuya phezulu? Nisebenza kanjani?
So I think let's start here. The numbers we have 350 as of now of kids. It's Nabo. This also includes our senior team. And just to be honest with you, the Puma sponsor, once again, they came to us. And they came to us once again because into science. We're doing the work that we're saying. We're saying we're a basketball academy, and we're running that. There's no shortcut. And of course, I do believe that myself and the people around me are extremely blessed. Like, see, and it's something that you also need to believe in, which is, the right people will come. We, prior to Puma coming, I will not lie, we did try and reach out to brands to say, hey man, and it never happened. But it was just that thing to say, we believe something. And I tell you, akudlulanga months, they literally reached out to us, and it was never us pursuing them. And it's because they saw, I mean, on social media, it's something that I feel a lot of people they need to invest a lot in, especially amateam asekasi, local teams, soccer, netball, any other sports, or even individual athletes. They right now we're at a point where everything, if you're not there or if you're not out there, it's your fault, because you are not marketing yourself. Tina Skula, I'm from a marketing background, media and marketing background, and Skula, for you to be seen, hey, there's a lot of money you need to pay until now, where you can literally push your own marketing, etc., on your own with something that fits in your pocket, which is your phone. And for us, it was something that from day one, in terms of making sure that the brand, because for us, it's not just a team, we're a brand. Brand yethu kwamele ibonakale, uyangithola. And what happens is that bigger brands want to then associate now because they are seeing you come up, they are seeing what there's value in partnering now. And so it makes the conversation much easier to say, okay, we as a brand are looking for this and we are finding this in you. So in all honesty, the partnership we have, the Puma, is not something that we actively went out to look for, as in like Sioba Kokotel or whatever. Honestly, they found us, and for us, that was such a huge blessing because they were ready to invest in South African or African basketball, and we were ready to also receive that at that time. And ever since then, the partnership with us and them has been the best thing I'd say that has happened to our academy thus far, is really partnering now, because they just changed the level at which we were to just 10 more levels higher because of the support they gave us. Like, it, for me, I wish this for every other organization that's doing sports to get these kind of partnerships, because it's difficult running anything, whether it's a Kasi or even in the suburbs. It's difficult running a sports organization. And not to say that they are the only partner we have, but when it comes to technical partnership or sponsorship, they've done more than we've ever prayed for.
Okay, Mr. Mo, so tell me about ama challenges face about abantwana.
Yeah.
I mean, by 350.
Yeah.
So labo bantwana, okay, maybe ngicabanga there is coaches bayendlula ama-division wabo. But do you find yourselves sometimes they play the whole day? Like sengikhuluma from under 10 going upwards. Kumele nibe laphayana the whole day for abantwana.
Yeah, so the setup is this. At first, you found that because besingekho baningi, we would have to share those responsibilities, whereby you not just a coach. Namanje is still the same. You coach, ubaba, uputi, you psychologist, you all those things. And this is, Tina, we really believe in prayer. We believe in spirituality, where it's like everything is sienzai. We just believe that the right people are going to come. Everything. There's never a time, because people assume that in ministry or a church is something we run in a building, gospel, kupreachiwe. But I believe that into Sienza is a ministry. It's a church, because we are servicing abantu bakaNkulunkulu, more specifically Ingos. And you want that environment idinga abantu who are called for that. You can't run into Hlangane neNkosi without the heart for them. That's why we find that some of the best students come from the best teachers that have i-teacher engacabangi kuphela ukuthi lo mntwana ngamele aphase i-maths, kodwa amcabangele ukuthi udlile namhlanje, all those things. And that's what really makes you a good coach or a good teacher. So the environment that we are in, it's really dictated by that. How we get to where we're going, it's because of, we understand which it's not just angizo coach kuphela. So it makes it easier for us to, ukuthi sirane So I'll complain. I mean, just last week, then I got the whole week, and normally this is something I do. There's a kid, I'm telling you, inkinga every month. There's a kid olimalayo, uphuka isandla. It's part of it. And normally, because I've got car access, I'm the one who has to take them to esibhedlela. There's a process that we follow, a policy now, which we reach out to parents, kanjalo, kanjalo. And this time, bengekho. And there was a coach who had to do that. And by the way, this was the second time he has to do this, because another time, even we were at a tournament in the Northwest, the same thing happened. And it was not, Bushuti, I appreciate him doing that a whole lot. But when I inspect the situation, I'm like, I'm glad that I've got people, abafana nami, who don't complain and say, Mariskal Sam soglala lis. Like they really care about these kids. And that's all I can ever pray for as the founder heading, to say, even in my absence, the people that are there, they're holding it down. Ang stress ukuthi angabe ngida yabo. Like, so for me, what warms my heart is knowing that ithi menginaira, they understand what needs to be done and they've got the same mentality.
Yeah. Hayi Mo, yazi le conversation le ehle ngikumamele ngiyabona ukuthi abantwana bethu ba-safe, and now I'm thinking I have this vision in my mind with if nginentwana and already sengifila whoever's gonna watch this, a parent or ubani, sengiyafila ukuthi it's safe for bona and ku-safe ukuthi abazali balethe abantwana. And by the way, ngingasho ukuthi incosi yakho i-blessed. I-blessed because of, you know, the guidance. Ne? If ukwazi ukugayida abantwana abangaka 350 or 300, like imagine yena ayi-one uthola leyo privilege from endlini to maybe if uphuma naye niya esports uyojima naye. Ezinye incosi, if they can get that warmth obagaya yona from ngaphandle, imagine lo ngaphakathi ejardini endlini, yabo. So Hotman, I think we're blessed and very lucky uthola abantu abafana nawe and having this academy level ifuna vele umuntu ofana nawe, the way mina ngibona ngakhona, because of, imagine if there was someone ofuna ukuyirana ocava i-sport, ocava i-basketball, hands bosho ukuthi bekungasinto yakho, then the next thing yena uyayirana. I don't think it was gonna be the same because of yena uyayazi and it's gonna be his vision, izoba uye into ayifunayo. But wena uyibheke ngeside lokuparenta, guidance, safety, things that you mentioned, ubheke ukuthi ucreate lento yokudonsa abantwana estradeni, ususe most izinto ezenzakala estradeni, you know, there's drugs, kunezinto ezenzakalayo. So mina could say ukuthi you're adding to the bar, as much as ngifuna ukuthi abantu bayibukele, I want people to see and learn ukuthi sometimes abanye abantu kumele sibasupport. We can think, you know, masingaphandle sibhekile la, everything looks so perfect. Court lihle, it's colorful, kids are playing around, they're all dressed up in the same way. And masibheka we like, they okay, we're just passing there. But you carrying a lot because of incosi yami mina ngiyishare and I just go to my place and do whatever. You have to parent my kid. You understand? So Hotman ushayisa ispani esinzima esihoti, as much as abantu they have to be aware ukuthi kuyenzakalani lapha. But I appreciate ukuthi now I know, I'm educated today with okay, kunabantwana abayi 350 who are safe already. Yebanga basketball court. So my motivation to other people is I just wish njengoba usho ukuthi diski, abanye tennis court, whatever, they can do the same for ikaslethu. So Hotman, I don't know, please give abantu bami advice ukuthi how can we motivate them, especially kids that don't know what to do. There's umntwana ongazi ukuthi uyasazi sports ongakasazi, but eventually he's good maqala afika lapho. So do you want abanye abantwana beze? Do you still want more kids? Do you want more players? What do you want? Ungayenzani? As much as you're changing ikasi, what more can you do? What can you do for us? Like, hence you doing much. Just give me something about nje ikasi lethu ukucoca more.
I think, okay, so there's a concept called connecting the dots. For me to get to where I am, there's things that I did or that I exposed myself to that manje, they helped me run the academy better. For one, the backgrounds, like I said, I am from a media and marketing background. Because of that, I'm able to, when it comes to our marketing and media department, I think we've done a great job simply because of that. So at times, they want to focus too much on one thing, and I don't believe in that. I believe that especially when you're young, you need to like expose yourself to so many different things, different sports. So like us, like for example, like above, we've got swimming, tennis, we've got basketball, we've got disc, there's boxing, there's weightlifting. If I was to be advising any kid, well, like us, is to say, expose yourself to all these things, and along the way, was also told. And while you're exposing yourself to all these things, sometimes in fact, also told you fall in love with this with like 6 years young, and then all of a sudden you just stop and then fall in love with something else. But that something else becomes your dots connected, where you find ukuthi hi man, that ngiyenza manje. It's because of that disking or someone I found or met that disking that just connects you to your calling. So it's not advisable to say ingosi zonke azize ku-basketball. I'm saying yes, they're fully welcome to come. But the reality is that not all of them are going to be basketball players. But through basketball, there's things that they're going to learn that can then open more doors. Sometimes it's just educational doors. So for me, it's really to say our kids, even young adults or even teenagers, they need to be exposed to as many things as possible. When I'm seeing even younger than yourself, kids starting podcasts, I'm like, good, because then these are more platforms for us to tell our story. And I know that if they take this one shortcut I keep on preaching, persistency and patience, they're going to get to a spot where this is going to change their life. They're going to put food on the table because they've done that. That alone. So for me, it's really just to expose ourselves, expose our kids to as many more things as possible.
Mo, you sound like the person, it's not all about into yakho. When you talk, uvulela yonke into.
Yeah.
You trying to ukuthi ubize attract izinto ezigrand. It's not about basketball, but sikubizele yona.
Yeah.
But now usounda njengomuntu open ofuna ukuthi sonke kasi sibe grand. So I just wish whoever is watching, Ntwana, Hotman, parent, ngicela ayibone ngelinye ilihlo,
Yeah.
to understand ukuthi all we want ukutshentsha ikasi. As much as une-vision ukuthi ekasi, we can have infrastructure grand like everywhere. I think singaba grand because of mangingabheka or kanti they doing everything and iyabadlisa, they sing, they play sports esingasazi, which is ngapha zikhona, but we don't take them serious ngaleyo ndlela. Yabo. So I think Hotman into onginikeza yona nevision ongika yona is everything is talent and everything is something that can make a living out of lento leyo uyenzayo. You just have to ukuthi uyenze and believe in it. So you sound like a person of spiritual kakhulu. And now we get to see and learn ukuthi ezinye izinto sometimes uNkulunkulu uzenzelana because of now when uvula inhliziyo and vele udila ngabantwana. So mina Hotman ngifuna ukukubonga for ukuzwakala vandag, and thank you for educating, thank you for guiding, thank you for ukuthi ugane nge-live because of sometimes into mayibuya komunye umuntu. That's good. As much as now I'm learning, I learned something today and I can see which okay, there's people abavula inhliziyo for izinto ukuthi zivule. So people can also learn to open their hearts, babe open and know with everything in his cart and be patient. We're learning from you, we're taking it from you. Nah, buyers bonena. We can't lie to them. But other than that, Hotman, thank you for coming today. Thank you for giving me guidance and thank you for educating my people. Ngiyabonga Hotman.
Thank you for all the best, man.
Yeah, I bafethu ipikani nilibonile. Manifuna something, just tell me. He has to come back, really. Asitshele more. I want to know about that place. Ngifuna ukubabona ukuthi are they serious ukuthi bathole i-private jet? It's possible bafethu. Bafly labantu sibabone orkanti. You never know. Mase sibabheka lela international. Mfethu lo muntu lo bakala ekasi. You proud to say asaselana. Find information, ask things because of matter. Awazi ukuthi uzonceda ubani. And then ladies, gentlemen, ngiyacela ama-ladies eze. ngifuna abantu abazokhuluma namantombazane. Guidance. We need a lot of guidance from women. It's been men, yabo. But other than that, bafethu big gun, bafethu asibongeni. Thank you, Mr. Mendes.
Bless you, man.
Thank you so much.